A financial door that was closed for decades is opening wide. Claim it now. You did not arrive here by accident, my child, and I need you to listen carefully because this moment was scheduled long before you ever felt the weight of lack, long before you wondered why effort never matched reward, long before doors shut without explanation. Don't skip this, because something ancient is shifting in your favor right now and you can feel it even as you listen, can't you? Have you noticed how lately old worries are rising again as if to be confronted one last time? Have you sensed a strange urgency pulling at your spirit, as if time itself is leaning toward you? This is not random, chosen one, this is a summons, because a financial door sealed by years of delay, rejection, and silent battles is beginning to open, and it is opening wide. Do you hear that word wide? Not cracked, not barely unlocked, but wide. And I need to ask you honestly, do you believe that what was denied to you for so long could suddenly rush toward you all at once, or has disappointment trained you to brace for nothing? Listen carefully, because I am speaking directly to you, my beloved, and I know how many nights you replayed the same question: why me? Why the struggle? Why the constant almost? Why the effort with no harvest? Have you ever felt embarrassed asking for help you never thought you would need? Have you ever felt guilty dreaming bigger because survival took all your energy? Don't skip this, because what I am revealing now explains more than you realize. That closed door was not punishment, it was protection, and I know that sentence just hit something deep inside you, didn't it? Have you ever considered that what you wanted years ago would have destroyed you if you received it then? Have you noticed how your character, patience, wisdom, and discernment have been forged through financial pressure? Type Amen if you feel that truth settling in your spirit right now. Because the season of preparation is ending, and a new season is pressing in, and here is the urgency you must not miss. The door opening now requires recognition, not force, alignment, not begging, obedience, not panic. Tell me, have you felt an inner nudge to let go of an old habit, an old fear, an old identity tied to struggle? This is not random, because as the door opens, what cannot come with you will try to hold you back. Listen carefully, my child. Some people will not understand this shift. Some voices around you will still speak scarcity even as abundance approaches. Have you already noticed certain conversations draining you more than before? Have you felt a sudden desire to protect your peace? Type yes if you have felt that separation happening quietly, because here is the warning wrapped in love. If you stop listening now, if you dismiss this as coincidence, you risk delaying what is already moving. And I say this not to scare you, but to awaken you, because destiny responds to attention, and attention is faith in motion. Do you believe this message found you on purpose, or are you still telling yourself it is just another video? Don't skip this, because I am about to expose something that explains the decades of delay. The financial door was guarded until your heart could hold what your hands are about to receive. And I know that sounds mysterious, but stay with me, because the next shift will make it clear. You were tested not on how much you wanted money, but on how you treated yourself without it. Did you grow bitter or compassionate, fearful or faithful, resentful or resilient? Be honest with yourself. Did you ever feel invisible while others prospered? Did you ever wonder if heaven forgot your address? Type 1111 if you feel the power of this moment tightening around you, because even now something unseen is rearranging timelines, contracts, opportunities, and conversations in your favor, and you must hear this. The door opening is connected to something you stopped praying for out loud because the disappointment hurt too much. Have you recently thought about an old dream without knowing why it resurfaced? Have you noticed signs repeating in subtle ways? This is not random, my beloved, this is confirmation, and here is the sudden reassurance you need. You will not miss what is meant for you. It is being escorted, protected, and accelerated toward you. Even delays now are working for precision, not denial. Listen carefully. Because the next phase will require courage, not effort, trust, not control, and generosity of spirit, not fear of loss. Do you feel both excited and nervous at the same time? Do you sense that something big feels close but undefined? That tension is the doorway, and I need you to type "I receive" if you are willing to step through without knowing every detail, because what comes next will not look like your past, and that unfamiliarity may shock you, my child. I am not opening a small stream, I am opening a floodgate. And floods change landscapes, relationships, routines, and self-image. Have you prepared your mind for increase, or are you still rehearsing survival? Don't skip this, because the truth I have not revealed yet will explain why this opening will feel sudden, fast, and almost unbelievable, and why once it begins, everything around you will have to adjust, because what happens next will shock you. And you will wonder why it did not happen sooner, but listen carefully, my beloved, because the speed of what comes next is part of the miracle itself. Don't skip this, because acceleration can feel frightening when you have lived in delay for so long. Have you ever noticed how sudden blessings can feel almost uncomfortable at first? How your mind tries to catch up with what your spirit already knows? This is not random. This is recalibration, and I am asking you now, can you allow good things to arrive without suspicion, or do you still brace for loss even in moments of favor? Tell me honestly, have you already felt moments where things almost worked out recently? Small openings, unexpected conversations, unusual timing, as if the universe paused and looked at you twice. Type yes if you know exactly what I am talking about, because those were not accidents, they were previews. Listen carefully, because here is the mystery most never understand. When a door has been closed for decades, it does not open quietly, it opens with resistance, noise, and emotional shaking, and that shaking you have felt lately, the restlessness, the vivid dreams, the sudden memories of old failures. Those are not setbacks, those are signs the lock is breaking. Have you felt emotion surfacing that you thought you already healed from? Have you questioned your worth even as opportunity feels closer? Don't skip this, because I am protecting you from misinterpreting the moment. The enemy of your breakthrough is not lack, it is familiarity with struggle, and I need you to hear this clearly. You are not being tested again, you are being transitioned, and transitions always feel unstable before they feel secure. My child, do you trust me enough to walk while the ground still feels unfamiliar? Type Amen if you are willing to trust even now, because here comes the warning wrapped in love. When this door opens, not everyone who knew you before will celebrate, some will minimize, some will question, some will suddenly remember your past. Have you already sensed subtle shifts in how certain people speak to you? Have you noticed envy disguised as concern? This is not random, and I am asking you, will you protect what I am about to place in your hands, or will you explain it away to those who never believed in you? Listen carefully, because the door opening is tied to your voice, how you speak about yourself, how you speak about your future, how you speak when no one is listening. Have you caught yourself recently correcting negative thoughts faster than before? Have you felt less tolerance for self-doubt? Type I choose faith if you are ready to guard your words, because words are keys now, and I need you alert. Don't skip this, because the financial shift coming is not just income, it is access. Access to rooms you were never invited into before, access to resources, ideas, and favor that bypasses old systems. Does that excite you or scare you more? Be honest. Have you ever imagined yourself handling more responsibility and wondered if you were ready? My beloved, readiness is not perfection, it is willingness, and you have already shown that by staying when it would have been easier to quit. Listen carefully, because here is the reassurance you have been waiting for. You did not endure all those years to be abandoned at the threshold. I am not cruel, I am precise. And precision requires timing, and timing has just shifted. Have you felt time moving strangely lately, days speeding up, moments aligning too perfectly? This is not random. Type 1111 if you feel the alignment locking in right now, because I am about to reveal something that will change how you see your past. Every closed door trained your discernment so you would recognize the right one instantly when it opened, and that recognition is happening now. Don't skip this, because the final piece has not been revealed yet. And when it is, you will understand why this opening could only happen now, because everything is about to change. Because the final alignment requires one more internal shift, and I need you fully present for this. Listen carefully, my child, because what I am about to say will challenge the way you have interpreted your entire financial story. Don't skip this, because the door opening now is responding to a decision you made quietly, perhaps without even realizing its weight. Have you noticed how recently you stopped chasing approval, stopped explaining your pain, stopped proving your value to people who never saw you? Did you feel that subtle release inside, that moment where you said enough, even if no one heard it out loud? This is not random, that was the signal, and heaven responds to signals, not noise. Tell me honestly, have you felt more resolved than desperate lately, more grounded than frantic? Type yes if you feel that inner steadiness forming, because stability attracts provision, and panic repels it. And I need you to understand this mystery: abundance does not come to rescue you. It comes to partner with you, and partnership requires clarity. Have you gained clarity about what you will no longer tolerate, what debts are emotional as much as financial, what cycles you refuse to repeat? Don't skip this, because the door opening is intelligent. It opens to who you are becoming, not who you were when you first knocked. My beloved, do you see now why it took time, why rushing would have cost you discernment? Have you ever looked back and realized a past no would have trapped you in something too small, too controlling, too draining? Type amen if you can see that protection now, because here comes the sudden tension you must be ready for. When the door opens, it will test your courage before it rewards your faith. Opportunity often arrives disguised as risk, responsibility, or unfamiliar structure. Will you retreat because it does not look like the fantasy you imagined years ago? Or will you step forward because you recognize the signature of alignment? Tell me. Have you already felt a pull towards something that feels bigger than your comfort but right in your spirit? This is not random, and I need to warn you with love. Hesitation at this stage can feel like humility, but it can actually be fear wearing a holy mask. Listen carefully, my child, because you are allowed to receive without apology, you are allowed to grow without guilt, and you are allowed to prosper without shrinking yourself to keep others comfortable. Do you believe that includes you? Or do you still exclude yourself subconsciously? Type I receive if you are ready to drop that limitation now, because here is the reassurance that calms the storm. You will not walk through this door alone. Provision will bring provision, favor will attract favor, wisdom will meet you as you move, not before. Have you noticed how help seems to appear only after you take the first step? This is how faith breathes. Don't skip this, because the next revelation is critical. The door opening is connected to something generational. What you step into will quietly break a pattern that did not start with you. Have you felt the weight of responsibility not just for yourself but for those who come after you? Have you ever sensed that your struggle was bigger than your own comfort? This is not random, and it explains the resistance, because when one door opens for you, others watch and learn that doors can open for them too. My beloved, do you feel the gravity of that calling? Does it both humble and strengthen you? Type 1111 if you feel the generational shift activating now, because I am telling you, the next moment will feel ordinary on the surface, but it will carry extraordinary consequence, and if you are distracted, doubting, or looking backward, you might miss how close it truly is. Listen carefully, because what I have not yet revealed will explain why the first sign may seem small, almost dismissible, and why recognizing it will unlock everything that follows. Because what happens next will change everything. And that first sign will test whether you trust discernment over drama. Listen carefully, my beloved, because I need you alert for subtlety now. Don't skip this, because what opens the door fully will not announce itself loudly, it will whisper, and only those who have learned patience through waiting will recognize it. Have you noticed recently how something small caught your attention more than it should have? A message, an idea, an invitation, a thought that lingered when others faded, did. You dismiss it because it seemed too simple to be the answer. Tell me honestly, have you been trained by struggle to expect complexity instead of grace? This is not random, because the breakthrough you prayed for years ago is approaching through simplicity, not strain, and that alone may feel suspicious. Can you receive ease without questioning your worth, or do you still believe blessing must hurt to be real? Type yes if that question touches something deep inside you, because here is the tension you must resolve. Effort kept you alive, but surrender will move you forward, and surrender does not mean passivity, it means alignment. My child, alignment feels like clarity, calm urgency, and a quiet confidence that does not need permission. Have you felt moments lately where fear tried to rise but could not fully take hold, where doubt knocked but you did not open the door? Don't skip this, because those moments were rehearsals, and I am preparing you for recognition. When the opportunity appears, it may come through a person who once overlooked you, a system that once rejected you, or a path you thought was closed permanently. How will you respond when the familiar returns with a different posture? Will you hold resentment or discernment, fear or wisdom? Type amen if you are choosing wisdom now, because here comes the reassurance you need to hear clearly. You are not walking into the same situation as before, even if the setting looks similar. You are different. Your boundaries are stronger, your vision is clearer, your spirit is anchored. Have you acknowledged how much you have grown, or do you still measure yourself by old versions of you? This is not random, and I need to ask you, do you see yourself as qualified now, or are you still waiting to feel ready? Listen carefully, because readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision, and you have already made it by staying open instead of bitter, by staying hopeful instead of hardened. Don't skip this, because the next phase will require speed, and speed without clarity leads to regret, but speed with discernment leads to favor. Have you practiced listening more than reacting, pausing before speaking, sensing before deciding? Those habits are about to pay you back. My beloved, I need to warn you gently, the door opening will challenge your identity more than your finances, because increase will ask you who you believe you are now, not who you were when you struggled. Do you still see yourself as the one who waits, or as the one who chooses? Type I choose if you are ready to step into that identity shift, because here is the mystery few understand. Wealth flows toward identity faster than effort, and your identity has been under construction this entire time. Have you noticed how your prayers changed, how you stopped begging and started trusting? How you stopped asking why and started asking how? This is not random, and it signals maturity, and maturity attracts stewardship. Don't Skip this, because the next sign may arrive wrapped in responsibility, paperwork, commitment, or a decision with weight, and your first instinct might be hesitation, but your spirit will recognize truth immediately. Will you honor that recognition, or will you talk yourself out of it? Tell me honestly, have you ever missed something before because you waited too long? Type 1111 if you are ready to respond differently this time, because I am telling you now, the window opening will not stay open forever, not as punishment, but as precision, and what I have not yet revealed will explain why timing matters so much in this moment, and why delaying your response could alter the path entirely, because what comes next will reveal the true nature of the door itself. And the true nature of this door is that it is alive, responsive, and aware of your readiness. Listen carefully, my beloved, because this is where many falter without realizing it. Don't skip this, because this door does not open to desperation, it opens to authority, and authority comes from knowing who sent you. Have you noticed how recently you stopped asking permission to believe bigger? Stopped shrinking your expectations when others doubted, stopped apologizing for wanting more than survival. This is not random, that inner shift is the key turning now. Tell me honestly, do you feel less afraid of success than you once were, or does the thought of things actually working out still make your chest tighten? Type yes if you are becoming aware of that fear dissolving, because here comes the tension that sharpens destiny. When the door opens wider, it will require a response that feels bold, maybe even risky, and your mind will search for guarantees that faith never promised. Will you move with trust or retreat into analysis? Have you ever delayed a blessing by waiting for certainty that could only come after obedience? Don't skip this, because this is a decisive moment, and heaven is watching how you respond, not to test you, but to partner with you, my child. I need you to hear this reassurance clearly. You are not stepping into chaos, you are stepping into order. Even if the transition feels messy at first, have you noticed how systems shift before stability settles, how growth stretches before it strengthens? This is not random, and it explains why your emotions may feel heightened right now, excitement and fear rising together, hope and caution sharing space. Can you allow both without letting fear lead? Type amen if you are choosing courage over comfort, because courage is the language this door understands. Listen carefully, because here is the revelation that ties everything together. The decades of closure trained you to recognize value beyond appearance, substance beyond surface, alignment beyond hype, and now the door opening will not try to impress you, it will invite you, quietly, firmly, unmistakably. Have you felt that calm pull instead of frantic push? That sense of this feels right even if it scares me. This is not random, and I am asking you, will you honor that knowing, or will you override it with old survival instincts? Don't skip this, because survival will keep you alive, but vision will move you forward, and vision is awakening in you now, my beloved. I must warn you lovingly, when you step through, some old financial narratives will die, stories you told yourself about limits, ceilings, and what people like you can have. Are you ready to release those identities, or do they still feel familiar and safe? Tell me honestly, do you sometimes feel loyal to struggle because it shaped you? Type I release if you are willing to let gratitude replace attachment, because honoring the past does not require repeating it. And here comes the reassurance that steadies your heart. You will not lose yourself in this increase. You will find yourself, refined, expanded, and grounded. Have you noticed how peace has become more important to you than proving anything? This is not random, it is preparation. Don't skip this, because the next sign may appear sooner than you expect, and it may ask for a decision faster than you planned. Will you trust that you are ready even if it feels sudden? Will you Remember this moment when doubt tries to speak louder than truth. Type 1111 if you are anchoring this message now, because I am telling you, once you recognize the sign, movement will follow quickly, conversations will align, resources will unlock, paths will clear, and what once felt impossible will begin to feel inevitable. Listen carefully, because the final revelation has not yet been spoken, and when it is, you will understand why this door could not open until now, and why. Stepping through it will alter your future in ways you cannot yet imagine, because what happens next will leave no part of your life untouched. And that is why I need your full attention right now, my child, because the alteration begins internally before it manifests externally. Don't skip this, because the next shift will feel subtle at first, almost quiet, and silence has always been the place where your greatest transformations occurred. Have you noticed how lately you have been less reactive, less eager to announce your plans, more selective with your energy? This is not random, that restraint is wisdom rising. Tell me honestly. Have you felt a desire to move differently this time, to protect what is growing instead of exposing it too early? Type yes if you recognize that instinct awakening, because this door responds to stewardship, and stewardship begins with discretion. Listen carefully, my beloved, because here comes the urgency you must not miss. Once the opening becomes visible, distractions will multiply. Offers that look similar but carry different outcomes, voices that suddenly sound supportive but lack alignment. Will you pause long enough to discern, or will excitement rush you past wisdom? Don't skip this, because discernment is the difference between access and overflow. Have you ever chosen something good that blocked something greater? Have you learned from that experience? This is not random, and I am reminding you now so you do not repeat old patterns. My child, here is the reassurance that steadies your heart. You will know which door is mine because it will not drain your peace, it will stretch you but not deplete you, it will challenge you but also confirm you. Have you felt that resonance before, that quiet yes beneath the fear? Tell me, do you trust that inner confirmation, or do you still doubt your spiritual senses? Type amen if you are choosing to trust your discernment now, because it has been sharpened through waiting. Listen carefully, because here is the revelation that reframes everything. The door opening is not just about money coming to you, it is about flow moving through you. What you receive will solve problems beyond your own, create stability beyond your own household, and influence decisions beyond your awareness. Have you ever sensed that your life was meant to be a conduit, not a container? This is not random, and it explains the responsibility you have felt without fully understanding why. Don't skip this, because the weight you felt was not pressure, it was calling. And calling always feels heavy before it feels joyful. My beloved, I need to ask you something deeply personal. Are you willing to be trusted with more, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, ethically? Because increase magnifies what already exists, and you have been purified through delay so that what is magnified brings life, not chaos. Do you see now why timing mattered so much? Type I am ready if you feel that readiness settling in your spirit. Because here is the sudden warning that keeps you anchored. Comparison will try to steal your focus as soon as the door opens, you may see others receiving differently, faster, or louder, but your path is precise, and deviation will dilute the blessing. Have you struggled with comparison before? Have you felt the urge to measure your progress against others? This is not random, and I am calling you higher than that now. Listen carefully, because the next movement will require obedience even when it feels counterintuitive, generosity when it feels early, patience when it feels urgent. Will you obey even if it does not make sense to everyone around you? Don't skip this, because obedience is the final key, and you have practiced it more than you realize. My child, the moment you step through this door, confirmation will follow rapidly, signs stacking, clarity increasing, peace settling, but there will be no time to second guess. Will you move when I say move? Will you trust that I am already ahead of you? Type 1111 if you are committing to that trust now, because I am telling you, the next few moments in your life will matter more than you think, and what I have not yet revealed will expose the final layer of why this opening carries such power, such consequence, and such promise, because when that truth is spoken, you will understand that this was never just about money at all, and everything is about to make sense. And when everything begins to make sense, you will feel both awe and humility at the same time. Listen carefully, my beloved, because this is where revelation deepens. Don't skip this, because the clarity arriving now will redefine how you see wealth, purpose, and yourself. Have you ever wondered why money alone never satisfied those who chased it blindly? Why abundance without meaning still feels empty? This is not random. Because what is opening to you carries assignment, not just provision. And I need to ask you honestly, do you feel that pull toward significance, not just comfort? Type yes if your spirit resonates with that truth, because the door opening now is aligned with impact, and impact requires integrity. Have you noticed how recently your conscience has grown louder? How shortcuts no longer appeal to you the way they once did? Don't skip this, because this refinement is deliberate. And it is proof you can be trusted with more. My child, here comes the sudden urgency you must not ignore. When this door opens fully, speed will matter, but haste will cost you clarity. Will you remember to pause, breathe, and listen even as momentum builds? Have you practiced stillness under pressure? This is not random, and it is why calm has been cultivated in you through storms. Listen carefully, because here is the reassurance that settles fear. You will not be rushed into mistakes. Guidance will come step by step. Confirmation layered upon confirmation. Have you ever experienced how the right path feels increasingly clear the further you walk it? Type amen if you trust that process now, because I need to expose a hidden truth. The resistance you faced for decades was not just external, it was internal doubt echoing old voices that questioned your worth. Have you recognized those voices softening lately, losing authority over your decisions? This is not random, and it signals liberation. Don't skip this, because freedom is essential before increase. Otherwise chains travel with you into new rooms. My beloved, ask yourself honestly, have you forgiven yourself for past financial mistakes, for choices made from lack or fear, for moments you wish you could undo? Type I forgive if you are ready to release that weight now, because forgiveness clears channels, and channels are opening. Listen carefully, because here comes the tension that sharpens focus. When the door opens, you may be tempted to overcompensate, to prove you deserve it, to say yes to everything. Will you remember that abundance does not require exhaustion, that balance protects blessing? Have you learned to rest without guilt? Don't skip this, because sustainability is part of the miracle, and miracles that last are built on rhythm. My child, here is the reassurance you have been waiting for. You will not outgrow the grace that brought you here. It will expand with you, meet you at every new level. Have you trusted grace before, or did you always rely on sheer effort? This is not random, and I am inviting you into partnership now. Type 1111 if you feel that partnership activating, because I am telling you, the door opening will reveal who was meant to walk with you and who was only meant to watch from a distance. Will you let go without bitterness, without dragging old connections into new seasons? Have you practiced release with love? Listen carefully, because the final unveiling is approaching, and when it comes, it will explain why the timing Feels both sudden and overdue, why the wait was long but the shift is fast, and why your life will never return to what it was before, because what I am about to reveal next will not only change how you see this door, it will change how you see yourself forever, and once you hear it, there will be no turning back, because everything is about to change. Because who you are becoming cannot fit back into who you used to be. Listen carefully, my child, because this revelation is intimate and undeniable. Don't skip this, because the shift you are experiencing is identity awakening. Have you noticed how certain environments suddenly feel too small, how conversations you once tolerated now feel hollow, how your spirit craves depth over noise? This is not random. It is expansion announcing itself, and I need to ask you honestly, have you felt moments where you no longer recognize the version of you that accepted less just to belong? Type yes if that realization has already surprised you, because the door opening responds to self-recognition. When you finally see yourself the way I have always seen you, provision aligns naturally. Listen carefully, my beloved, because here comes the tension you must navigate wisely. As your identity shifts, old fears will attempt one final negotiation, whispering that you are changing too much, dreaming too big, leaving others behind. Have you heard that voice lately? Have you felt guilt rising when confidence grows? Don't skip this, because guilt is not humility, it is residue from a season that has ended, and I am asking you now, will you honor growth without apology? Type I step forward if you are ready to release that guilt, because here is the reassurance that steadies your heart. You are not abandoning anyone by answering your calling, you are making room for alignment, and alignment blesses more people than sacrifice ever could. Have you noticed how your peace has increased even as responsibilities feel closer? This is not random, and it is confirmation. Listen carefully, because the door opening will also confront your relationship with receiving. You have learned how to endure, how to give, how to survive, but have you learned how to receive without suspicion, without self-sabotage, without delay? Tell me honestly, do compliments still make you uncomfortable? Does help still feel undeserved? Don't skip this, because receiving is an act of trust, and trust completes the cycle of faith. My child, here comes the sudden urgency you must hear clearly. The first wave of increase may arrive in a form that challenges your old definitions of success. It may look quieter, steadier, more structured than dramatic. Will you recognize substance even if it lacks spectacle? Have you trained yourself to look for fireworks instead of foundations? This is not random, and I am refining your vision now. Type amen if you are choosing depth over display, because depth sustains what display cannot. Listen carefully, because here is a truth few are told. Not every blessing feels exciting at first. Some feel serious, weighty, sobering, because they carry responsibility. Have you felt that seriousness lately? That sense of this matters more than before? Don't skip this, because that weight is honor, and you are being entrusted. My beloved, I need to ask you something gently but firmly. Are you willing to lead your life instead of reacting to it, to choose intentionally instead of drifting by habit? Because the door opening responds to leadership, not luck. Have you felt a desire to plan differently, think long-term, protect the future instead of patching the present? This is not random, it is maturity surfacing. Type 1111 if you feel that leadership awakening now. Because I am telling you, once this door opens fully, momentum will build quickly, and you will need to move with clarity, not confusion, confidence, not comparison. Listen carefully, because the final confirmation will come in a way that feels almost too precise to be coincidence. A timing, a conversation, a number, a decision aligning perfectly. Will you acknowledge it when it happens, or will you downplay it out of habit? Don't skip this, because recognition seals manifestation. And I am preparing you to recognize what others might miss, my child, the truth I am about to reveal. Next we'll explain why this door resisted force but responds instantly to alignment, why decades of effort could not open it but one moment of clarity can, and when you hear it, you will understand that this was always about becoming, not chasing, and that what happens next will redefine what you believe is possible, because the final revelation is closer than you think, and it will change everything. And the reason it was always about becoming is because doors respond to identity before action. Listen carefully, my beloved, because this truth will settle something you have wrestled with for years. Don't skip this, because chasing taught you effort but becoming taught you alignment. Have you noticed how things feel different when you move from clarity instead of desperation? How resistance lessens when your inner posture shifts? This is not random, and I need to ask you honestly, do you feel less frantic than you used to, even though more is at stake now? Type yes if peace has begun replacing pressure, because peace is evidence that alignment has occurred. Listen carefully, because here comes the sudden urgency you must not ignore. The door opening will require you to release urgency rooted in fear and replace it with urgency rooted in purpose. Can you move decisively without panicking? Can you act quickly without abandoning discernment? Have you practiced that balance recently? Don't skip this, because this balance is the signature of maturity, my child. Here is the reassurance that calms the final tremor. You are not late, you were protected, and protection often disguises itself as delay. Have you made peace with your timeline yet? Or do you still compare your chapter to someone else's highlight? This is not random, and I am asking you now to release comparison fully. Type I release if you are done measuring your life against paths that were never yours, because comparison clouds recognition, and recognition is required in this hour. Listen carefully, because the final confirmation will not shout, it will settle. It will feel like certainty without anxiety, confidence without arrogance, humility without hesitation. Have you felt moments of that clarity already? Those quiet yes moments that needed no validation. Don't skip this, because that is how you will know you are standing before the open door. My beloved, I must reveal this gently. The door opening is also closing something else permanently, an old season, an old ceiling, an old agreement with limitation. Are you ready to let that chapter end without reopening it emotionally? Have you truly grieved what never worked so you can fully receive what will? Type Amen if you are ready to close that chapter now, because unfinished grief can delay finished blessings. Listen carefully, because here comes the tension that tests resolve. Once the door opens, nostalgia may try to pull you backward, reminding you of familiarity. Even if familiarity was painful, will you honor growth over comfort, vision over memory? This is not random, and I am strengthening you now so you do not look back. My child, here is the reassurance that anchors courage. You will not need to force this new season. It will respond to your presence. Opportunities will meet you where you are. Resources will recognize you. Conversations will align naturally. Have you trusted attraction over pursuit yet? Don't skip this, because the law of alignment is now working in your favor. Listen carefully, because the next sign will confirm everything at once. It will feel undeniable, synchronistic, precise, and emotionally grounding. When it happens, will you acknowledge it as divine or dismiss it as coincidence? Be honest. Have you done that before? Type 1111 if you are choosing recognition over dismissal this time. Because I am telling you, recognition accelerates manifestation, and this is the moment acceleration becomes visible. My beloved, what you step into next will feel both new and familiar, new in form, familiar in spirit. as if your soul remembers this future. Have you felt that déjà vu sense of destiny lately, that feeling of I have been here before even though you have not? This is not random, it is remembrance, and remembrance activates courage. Don't skip this, because the final unveiling is moments away, and when it is spoken, you will understand why every closed door, every delay, every almost was necessary to bring you here now, ready, clear, and aligned, because what happens next will not just open a door, it will establish you in a new way of living, and the truth I am about to reveal will seal this season forever.